According to a Manhattan judge's ruling last week, former President Donald Trump, his son Donald Jr., and his daughter Ivanka will have to testify in New York Attorney General Letitia James' investigation into whether or not the Trump Organization inflated the value of properties to get better loan terms for tax purposes. Yes, that's what this case is apparently all about. But is this really a case of selective prosecution being done for political reasons? Joining us now for more is former President Donald Trump's attorney in this case, Alina Habba. Great to have you on. Good morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Rob.
Nice to have you in-house as well.
Yeah.
This case, all right, so it's being run by a Democrat, Letitia James. She's the Attorney General in New York. It's being presided over by a Democrat. Could this case, and this is just a guess, could this be more about trying to prevent Donald Trump from running for president again in 2024?
No, I couldn't imagine that.
Am I way out there with that?
Wait, where did you get that idea?
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. That's what we argued. It's selective prosecution. And selective prosecution is not right. It's not right on any grounds. But when you're a prosecutor and you're the highest governing prosecutor in the state of New York,
right,
you cannot target someone before you even run for the AG's office and then become AG and say, oh, everything I ran on, I'm going to now do it.
Right.
She didn't even know anything about him. So it's incredibly frightening for the state of New York that this has continued and that the judge made the decision that he did.
We'll get into what she said and did during the campaign, by the way, when it came to going after the then sitting president.
Right.
But in describing your client, the former president, the Manhattan Supreme Court judge actually said, and this is a quote, it's unbelievable. He said, the traditional protected classes are race, religion, etc. Donald Trump doesn't fit that model. He's not being discriminated against based on race, is he, or religion, is he? He's not a protected class. If Miss James has a thing against him, okay, that's not, in my understanding, unlawful discrimination. He's just a bad guy she should go after as the chief law enforcement officer in the state. Alina, to you on that, you've been an attorney for a long time. How unusual is it for a judge to call a defendant a bad guy before the case has been innocent until proven guilty?
You're a judge. You're a judge.
You're a bad guy.
He's just a bad guy. Well, first, it's an investigation stage. People need to remember that. And the first portion of what you read, you know, it goes to the fact that, he's not a protected class. It's selective prosecution. He didn't understand. You don't need to be a protected class to be selectively prosecuted.
Right.
It means there's some reason outside of you just being an arbiter of the law. You know, what happened to innocent until proven guilty? This has been an investigation. It's not a case. There's no charges. And the judge himself is now saying, he's just a bad guy. Well, that's frightening.
So scratch the word defendant. We're not even there.
We're not even there.
We'll never get there.
He's not there. And at the end of the day, this is the problem with New York State right now. Donald Trump cannot get a fair judge to hear him on the facts of what is going on. And when I brought up Letitia James's comments, you know, he said, I'm not the ethics committee.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this.
He's telegraphing where he is politically in that statement right there by calling Donald Trump a bad guy. It's not his responsibility or job to say that. Back to Letitia James. So the other angle to this, so she's the Attorney General in the state of New York. She made a vow while she was campaigning that she would investigate Donald Trump. CNN loved this, by the way. They followed this. Again, they put up, this is a full screen of an article that CNN put out, the New York AG's first 100 days of war against Trump. Again, proving that this is probably less about the law and more about politics.
This is Russia. This is Russia. You know, this is not our country. This is not the way you can behave. We are going on all avenues against Letitia James, not just with the courts. And it has to be stopped. And people in this state should really be frightened. If you're a real estate tycoon and you have valuations of property and you happen to be on the other side of politics with Letitia James as your AG, you're in trouble. I
mean, but by the way, inflating the values of, that's why we have appraisers. That's why we've got banks. Imagine you're out there trying to sell your house and you say, you know what, I'm going to give everyone a deal. I'm going to undervalue it by 35%. If you're selling your house, you're going to overvalue it, see if somebody bites. If they don't, maybe you come down a little bit. But that's part of that's American real estate.
Why are there tax?
That's capitalism.
Exactly. Why are there tax certiorari's
exactly.
in New York?
Why are there? Just a quick question. We've got about 15 seconds left.
Sure.
Do you expect the president to testify? Ivanka, Donald Jr. Do you expect them to testify? And if they do, will they take the fifth?
I haven't made a determination on what I think is best at this point. Unfortunately, they put them between a rock and a hard place, but I can tell you we're appealing the decision.
So
the decision was completely inappropriate.
That would negate the 21 days. Because
that would negate it. We will appeal it, and we will be moving appropriately.
Alina Habba, come back and see us soon. Thanks
you.
so much for coming in. We appreciate it. Great to see you.
Thank you.